A few fascinating facts about the Philco 46350 and 37630. Good evening, YouTube. Here with you on a Saturday evening. It is looks like almost 10:40 in the evening. Why I'm here is a couple of things. I wanted to firstly acknowledge something I missed. See, the repair on this Philco 37630 the other day by Radio Rescue. I watched the video and I thought, man, this thing looks familiar. I kept thinking there was something about it that just really, got my attention. I thought, well, I know I've seen this radio before. So anyway, I went ahead and watched the video, and it's good. And he does good repair work. I like his style and things and stuff like that. So I went on about my business, and like I said, I made the other videos since then, but now tonight while I was sitting here again, I thought I'm going to check this out because I was looking at the 46350 that Bill sent me and was trying to figure out some stuff on it from my video. I think it was yesterday or maybe it was today. I don't know, but anyway, one or the other. That I'm restuffing that cap, and I pointed out some information there that I kind of glossed over, and I really kind of wanted to address that because I don't want anybody to think that I'm pulling my numbers out of a hat. So I'm going to go over that in just a second. But anyway, what I did was when I was looking up the schematic for the 46350 to find the information that I wanted, I ran across this schematic, and this is the 37630 that was addressed in the video by Radio Rescue. And like I said, this is why I remembered it. This is the radio that Gary Rebel 9668 gave me some time ago, and the reason I probably didn't connect the dots was the one that Radio Rescue worked on was a cabinet model, tabletop cabinet model, and the one Gary gave me was a console. It's the same chassis, but it's just in a different case. So that was why it looked so familiar to me. And by the way, that's probably going to be one of my next radios after I get this Philco that Bill sent, because I put off this stuff. Gary, the things that Gary has given me so far do not require a lot of work, and I just kind of been putting them off and things like that. And I do want to go ahead and get that radio out of the cabinet and bring it in on the bench, because I'm obviously not going to be able to bring the whole thing in, and I may have to disconnect the speaker to have something to hook it into. I believe it has a field coil on the speaker, I believe. So I will have to probably bring that in as well. But anyway, on to that's the conundrum about this. And let me go to the other thing that I was talking about. The Philco 46350. Now this is I generally try to find as much information on a radio that I'm working on. It may have been Bob that sent me this, and I'm sorry if I messed up whoever sent me this information for it, but this is the actual Philco service bulletin, whatever you want to call, on this radio. So I thought it would be very helpful to have, and like I said, it gives a lot of good information about it and stuff like that you can see there. One of the things that this radio has going for it, if you want to call it that, is the fact that it is a AC/DC battery set. Now, this is one of the reasons I knew in my head that the voltages would not be that high, because the highest voltage that it carries is this 90 volt plate supply, and the 9 volt filament supply is the higher amperage, but this 90 volt plate supply is the one that I was looking at, because if it runs from that, then it's not going to have that much voltage on it. And I had also looked below here, and I'm going to go down and point this out as well. If we look down here, there's a pretty good indication right there if we want to look at this. Here's all the test points. Here's our normal voltage indication. Here is possible cause of abnormal indication, things like that. So point C, which is C to B minus, is 87 volts, even less than the 90 volt supply. This is the first one, and you can see it, 87 volts right there. And here is our 30 microfarad cap here that I was talking about. This is the 160, and you can see that is well rated for what we have there. Now the next one we're going to look at is the 10 microfarad, which is also was supposed to be originally, or it wasn't at cap anyway, 150 rated. And you see right here the voltage is only 50 volts here. So that's a 100 volt cap. That should be perfectly fine. So on down to the other two 30s. If we trace those out, you can find out where they go here by D to B minus, and that's the one here. Okay, I'm sorry, that's 50 volts. Yeah, okay, 50 volts is right here. I'm looking at, I don't even know what I'm seeing. After it goes through here, we're down to 8.5 volts here. So no problem there, and even if we go down to F, which is F to B minus here on this switch, which one of these does go to a switch, that's only 70 volts there, but that's actually coming the other way off of there, so that's not a problem either. But still, all of these caps that I have are rated at 100 volts, except for the one that was 160. So, like I say, I'm not pulling numbers out of my hat. We're good to go on this, and this chart here says the same thing. And like I said, this is what I'm going by. So we should be just fine with the caps I've got in there. In case anybody was concerned with that, I just felt the other day that I kind of glossed over that, and I didn't really want to do that. I didn't remember where I got the information from. And tonight, while I was sitting here in my chair, I thought, I'm going to find out exactly where that information was. And this is it. So, and this is the genuine Philco service information, and I think this ought to be good. But again, if you stop and think about 90 volt supply being used for this radio, you can tell right away that it's not going to be anything more than that. I mean, even with the AC, it gets knocked down from that. From this rectifier tube right here. You can see it's 90 volt right off the rectifier. So it's not going to be a problem with this one here. Like I say, it's rated at 160. We've only got 87 volts on it. So I just kind of wanted to go over that, and I have a hard time sometimes rationalizing some of these numbers, and I want, when I find out where they're actually coming from, I'd like to pass that along so people can see. But again, I think everybody can tell now that we're good to go with those caps. And like I said, that was worried me a bit, but I'm glad I found this information, and now I feel better. I can sleep tonight. Some of you may recall the fact that I am trying to come up with a replacement for my rack on my stereo, and I've been looking at some shelves the other day when I told you about going out with Kylie on Monday, and we looked at some stuff, and shelves was one of the things I was looking at, and I didn't really care for the cost. Pretty expensive to buy the ones you just put together or whatever. So I thought, well, the other day I was looking at prices of MDF boards at Home Depot, and the ones that I would like to get are 1/4 inch by 2x4 boards, and if I can get 3 of those, I think I can make a fairly decent rack system that will accommodate my stereo and the new, new to me, tape deck and everything, my records, all this stuff. So let me show you what I've got planned on that. This is going to be the front of it. There's the measurements. You can see the, I think the most that any of the components are, except for the reel-to-reel tape deck, is 5-something inches. So this will give plenty of room for ventilation, all that stuff. Obviously the record changer and the tape deck will go up here on top. I don't know what the order of the other components will be, but I have 4 places and I have at least 3 components, so I may have another one to put up there if I want to put up there. So there's 4 spaces there, and again the widest one was, I believe, 17, maybe it was even less than that. I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere, but this area down here, this is going to be my record storage. These upright poles here are 32 inches long, and these are 1x3 furring strips. And as these are too, these on the bottom, they're obviously turned the other way and go across. I'll show you more about the bottom in a minute, but this is what the front of it's going to look like. And again, there will be 6 of these 32-inch 1x3 upright legs here, and they will be grooved to where they fit inside the 1/4-inch shelves here, the MDF, and they would just fit in like a jigsaw puzzle, whatever you want to call it, and then it will be glued and stuff like that. And I'm not counting on just the glue to keep this steady. I'll show you the back side, and you'll be able to see a little bit better here. Now this will be the back side. I'll have the 1x3s going both ways here. Obviously this will be a full one right here. These will have to be 2 different pieces wedged in there or whatever. And this will keep it from racking. Keep the rack from racking. And again, these 1x3s on the bottom here. And like I say, once I show you the bottom, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about on that. Let me show you that now. Here's the bottom. This will be the bottom view. These will be all 1x3s on their edge. These are the legs. They'll come out same length as the legs. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs there. And these are the fill-ins on the front and the back that I pointed out. And these will be full-length furring strips here, 1x3s, 3 of those. That will give the records plenty of support. And there will be an inch overhang here and rounded edges on the MDF. And I think that'll look pretty good. And we'll look at the top now, which is the final thing. And that'll be the top view. Like I said, that'll leave plenty of space for, I said, the record changer here, tape deck here, and again, it'll only be 32 inches high, roughly. And so that should be just about the right height. I've measured it on next to the speakers here and everything like that, and it's going to look pretty good, I think. And there's plenty of room for that here. That's going to get rid of that rack. And I'll put that out in the garage. But I really got kind of tired of the rack. I mean, it was this latest thing of adding the tape deck wasn't working out like I wanted it, and I thought, well, I got to come up with something. So this will be less than $30 built, not counting the glue, but the wood that I have to get. Furring strips are pretty cheap. They're only $1 something a piece. I think these boards here are 7 something a piece, and like I said, I get 3 of those, and I've already got 1 piece here. It's not the MDF, but I'm going to put that on the bottom for the records, and it was the one I was going to use to build the boombox out of, but I don't like it for the boombox. I want another piece of this for that, so I will be getting that when I build that. But for the time being, I'm going to use it for this, and like I said, it will be on the bottom shelf. It'll be the this one here. Of course, now this is the bottom view. On top of that will be a smooth, just have the upright If you looked at the front, you can see again. This is what this will be, that bottom piece that I was talking about. It's not going to be MDF, but it will work out just the same. As much support as I have there won't be any problems with that. And like I said, the records will be able to fit in here, and the X parts on the back, will keep the records in from going out the back. The only thing I'm at all worried about is the how they're going to be able to stand up here, because the depth of that is, let's see, what did I say, 15 inches? I believe I said that. Yeah, 15 inches. So that's going to be, let's see, 1 by 3s. These are 2.5 inches wide, so that's 5 inches less. So that's 10 inches. That should be plenty for this. In other words, if I get the records between there, I should have part of the record here and part of the record here. That's because the albums are, I think, a little over 12 inches on the jacket for them. So, like I said, that should work out. I can always put another piece in here on the side, and just for support if I need to. I may do that, because I don't really want to count on these the corners of the records being what holds them up, and I think that will eventually warp the records. So I'll probably put at least one on each end, and maybe one in the middle, 1 by 3 across there, and for the support of the records. And everything else should work out very well, I think. But like I said, for $30, and it gives me another thing to build. This is not cardboard, Bill. I'm building this out of wood. It's funny, but I did consider cardboard for this, and the only problem I'm having with it, or I would have with it, is the amount of glue and everything to make those strips and stuff like that. And I just don't have that much cardboard. I really don't. If I had the cardboard, it wouldn't be too bad. But I think the wood would look better. I don't think the cardboard looked very good. So that's what I'm contemplating, and I may pick this up here in the next couple of days and start on it. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. But that's a thought, and like I said, I thought I'd share that with you. So I think this is going to do me for now. I don't think I had anything else to tell you about, but that, and you guys have a pleasant evening. I do appreciate you watching, and we will see ya.